everybody, and welcome to the only show you're gonna get tonight. There ain't gonna be a post-game show, but there will be this halftime show with the Browns leading 14-0 at the half in an interesting football game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's, again, there's good and bad, and the good outweighs the bad. We should be ahead by more than what we're ahead by. I mean, honestly, we've dominated this football game, and from a defensive perspective, we've done an outstanding job. I like the fact that some of the occasions, Baker has made some good long throws, and I think that's great. We are not running the ball enough. When you get 2nd and 4 situations, and you immediately go to the pass. It's not the smartest thing in the world. But we know that Freddie Kitchens is a lousy play caller. But, here's the thing that I note more than anything is that Antonio Callaway being waived, flat out waived, it tells me that Freddie Kitchens was talking about bringing him back for yet another week, and Freddie Kitchens is no longer in charge of this team. You notice he didn't even try at the end of the first half. He did what he was supposed to do. He just ran out the clock. I suspect that Freddie Kitchens is hearing it from higher-ups. His days are numbered in Cleveland. And I think that the whole Antonio Callaway thing, let us not forget that the head coach intentionally selected plays from a playbook that did not incorporate Rashard Higgins into the plays so that Antonio Callaway could play. Not only could Callaway not play, Callaway was a con man, a liar, a swindler, a drug addict, whatever you want to call him, and Freddie bought the bullshit. I think Dorsey just waved him and I think said, we're putting an end to this once and for all. As far as the intensity, Wable, and I know exactly what you're saying from a defensive perspective, someone has flipped a switch, and I think that whenever you sit down and tell a bunch of guys who are not disciplined, it's going to be your ass. And, we're going to take a pick and granted, Callaway was a value pick based on character issues, and his character issues came back to bite him in the ass. The question is why the head coach didn't realize this through the entire process, why it seemed to baffle him so much. But yeah, I think the switch that's been flipped is a combination of things, but I think it's high motor stuff on defense. We're making tackles, we're getting into the backfield, we shut down that running game of the Steelers early, and, unfortunately, we could not convert that interception into points. The kick had no chance from the time that it left Seibert's foot. I mean, and the same thing on a bobbled hold. The Steelers' only chance at points was hooked wide because of a bad hold. It's cold out there. Baker Mayfield has thrown a few really good. The deep ball to Odell Beckham and the deep ball to Kadarius Dodge were very good. The last pass that he threw was not so good. You can't throw an out pattern late. I still see Baker drifting back in the pocket too much and throwing off his back foot and throwing late, as opposed to stepping up into the pocket like he did on the long throws. The ball that he winged over the middle to Jarvis Landry was a beautiful spiral because he stepped into the throw. I think there just needs to be more than that. Big Lurker UK, we should have more points than what we have. But with that said, I mean, we've been putting a physical hurt on the Steelers, which is a great thing to see. The only thing I didn't like to see was Greedy Williams kind of apologizing to Mike Tomlin about a helmet-to-helmet on Juju Schuster. You know, the Steelers never apologize for injuring our players, and this is for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you want to know something? I watched the entire first half with no sound on. No sound. I don't want to hear the fucking announcers. I don't want to hear that shit. I see the game with my own eyes. It's just like I don't want to watch CNN. I don't want to watch Fox News. I just want to see things with my own eyes and make up my own mind. The Browns out-physicaled the Steelers in the first half of this football game and put a physical beat down on them. And the fact is, you don't have to apologize. I don't care if Juju Schuster don't come back for the rest of the game or if he don't come back for the next 4 games. Fuck Juju Schuster and fuck the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the fact is they have contributed to injuries and concussions against Cleveland Browns receivers since time immemorial. Fuck them in the mouth. They're still the goddamn Steelers. They're also confusing Mason Rudolph. There's, you know, I guess I look at the game and I say, he's limited, and it seems like they're doing a good job covering his initial read. And, you know, and they're putting pressure on from the outside. And up to this point, without a running game, the Steelers look impotent. The Browns get the ball to begin the second half. It's imperative we put up the 3rd touchdown. It is imperative. And take time off the clock doing it. I don't need to see bombs and trick plays and all of that. What we need to see is a solid running game, because in cold weather, that's what you do. And we haven't really made any use out of Kareem Hunt whatsoever in this football game, and Chubb, very limited opportunities. You got to use up clock, get a ball, time-consuming drive, and then put up the 7, not the 3. Mason Rudolph down 3 scores is not Ben Roethlisberger. So that gives you a real edge. But, you know, at the end there of the half, if they make another play and they get into the end zone, you're only up 1 score. So it's one of those types of games where the results hinge on getting this team further behind, because the further behind you put them, you force Rudolph to beat you. And you take that running game out of the equation. So I think that is imperative. And you know something, you know, the Ravens are the Browns. I'm sorry. I love you, D-bag, but the fact of the matter is what I want to see is Pittsburgh to lose just out of sheer human hate. I don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're arrogant, and I think that they're just pieces of shit. Brian points out that there was that 20-yard pass play to Hunt where he got the first down, where he broke tackles, where they tried to spot the ball short at first. Yeah, but there really hasn't been much utilization, and I don't remember much in the way of him actually running the ball from the line of scrimmage. You know, and this I agree with. You know, when J.J. Watt batted that one down that was going to be swung out, you know, how is he getting that far in the backfield that quick on a ball that's just supposed to be thrown out quickly in the flat to Kareem Hunt? I mean, they're not blocking. They're trying to send blockers out into the pattern. You can't leave J.J. Watt unblocked. I mean, you know, they got to be a little bit better, you know, as far as play design. Tiffany, you know, we all worry about the second half. The question is the adjustments that each team makes, and Tomlin is a better coach than Kitchens. But the Browns are playing with intensity, which is something that I haven't seen through 2 quarters, let alone 4. And we put 2 good, intensive, really good defensive quarters together. And we really seriously need to get a little more help from the offense. And that has been pretty much the case all year, that the Browns are just not scoring enough points. But, you know, that's kind of the way it goes. And Bronk, it's a good question. I don't know. The play calling is such that it mystifies. It just mystifies, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to make this into a negative program about Freddie Kitchens. And, it looks like they were looking for that. Without a question, Jose, they were looking for Hunt on those swing passes, but there's other ways to use him as a running back. And, I was glad to see the sneak with Baker Mayfield, which was stuffed at the one, but the drive pushed him forward and the surge pushed him forward. That's great to see. Great to see the other red zone touchdown to a blown coverage against Jarvis Landry. I don't know what in the hell happened. I was looking for the pick on that play. There wasn't even a pick. There was just nobody out there. There were two Browns guys running out there. Demetrius Harris was ahead of him, and then Jarvis Landry was behind him, and there were no Steelers. So somebody fucked up on coverage there for sure. I'm sure that they're looking at that right now. I guess I missed that. Joe Turkey Jones spiking Bradshaw, and why? Why did that happen? 'Cause they separated Brian Sipes' shoulder. Fuck the Steelers. I don't forget anything that Jack Lambert ever did in his life. Fuck the brain damaged prick. That's what I say about the Pittsburgh Steelers. No sympathy whatsoever. Good question, Rare Breed. Why are we in the shotgun throwing when we're up 14 points with no running? I want to see better clock management and timeout management, better coaching, better management, period. We have this an opportunity to get this job done. And it isn't for anything more than making this Steeler thing a rivalry again. Getting out there and getting on these guys, man, and playing physical football. That's what I want to see, Yeah, that would appear to be the case, Jose. The game plan, Freddie's game plan calls for passing nonstop. I don't know. They haven't been able to get to Baker. They've done a good job in shipping and double teaming J.J. Watt and letting somebody else try to beat them. So that's good. That's really good. And that is what the defense does. You give up 104 yards in the first half of a game and 0 points. You should win that football game. But a lot of it depends, and I've always felt this way watching the Browns this year. The Browns press. The Browns always act as if they're the ones under pressure. And we've got to get this game under control, and it starts with the first possession, And that's what I'm saying, you got to be in control, Well, we're going to see what he does, but what Tomlin's going to do, they got to put more pressure on Baker Mayfield. That's what they've got to do, and what we've got to do is run the football. Game time it is, Brian. Thank you. No post-game show tonight, folks, because I got to get to bed. Moohead Radio is on, though. For all you people who are watching online, Moohead Radio right here on YouTube and on Facebook. That'll be happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will serve as my post-game show. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow on the broadcast. Until then, go Browns. Let's hope we hang in there and win this. Bye-bye now.